Thank you. Please be seated. Good evening. This is the time for the 8 p.m. calendar and initial appearance court on May 19th, 2025. The court's orders for the taking of DNA and fingerprints made on the first calendar of this month will apply to all hearings on this calendar. I will call you each up to the podium one at a time. Please listen for your name. I'm then going to announce whoever is up next. Please sit in the chair that's right outside of the courtroom. I'll let you know what you've been arrested for, what your next court dates are, and any release conditions that I'm ordering today. Let's go ahead and get started with Brian Bauer to the podium. And then Dion Edinburgh to the chair, please. Good evening, sir. May I have your name and date of birth? Your name and date of birth? Sure, is your name Brian Bauer? Okay, go ahead and take a seat. Dion Edinburgh to the podium, and then Evian Johnson to the chair, please. Good evening. May I have your name and date of birth?
Dion Edinburgh, 12/17/1999.
Thank you. We are here today on two different cases. They're both probation violation warrants for violating terms 3, 4, and 5. I will appoint you an attorney on both cases. I am setting a probation revocation arraignment hearing on May 27th at 8:30. That's in the downtown Superior Court. I am going to affirm the request in each of the warrants. That's a $750 bond on the first case, and then to hold you non-bondable in the second case. So you do have a bond on one of your cases, but don't post that because you're being held non-bondable in your first case. All of this information is going to be in your paperwork, and your attorney can argue for your release at the next hearing. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay, grab your paperwork and have a seat. Evian Johnson to the podium, and then Kevin Spring to the chair, please. Good evening. May I have your name and date of birth?
Evian Johnson, 12/4/96.
Thank you. We are here today on 4 different cases. The first is a Superior Court new case. You were arrested on allegations of obstruction, refusing to provide your true name, a Class 2 misdemeanor, and dangerous drug possession, Class 4 felony. I'm only finding probable cause as to the obstruction allegation, not the dangerous drug possession. That doesn't mean that allegation goes away. You could still be charged with that down the line, but I'm not holding you on that allegation for today's purposes. I am appointing you an attorney, so talk with your attorney about what that means moving forward. I am setting a status conference on May 23rd at 8:30. That's in the downtown Superior Court. We're also here today on 3 probation violation warrants for violating terms 3 and 5 of your probation. I will appoint you an attorney on all 3 of those cases as well, and set a probation revocation arraignment hearing on May 27th at 8:30 in the downtown Superior Court. I am going to issue a secured bond in the amount of $50 as a placeholder in your new case, and then I will affirm the bonds in each of your probation warrants. On your first probation case, it's $500. On your second probation case, it's $1,200. And then on your third probation case, it's to hold you non-bondable for the violation of probation. So you have bonds on 3 of your cases, but since you're being held non-bondable on your probation matter, don't post the bonds on the other matters. All this information is going to be in your paperwork. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay, grab your paperwork to your left and take a seat. Kevin Spring to the podium, and Caden Anderson to the chair, please. Good evening, sir. May I have your name and date of birth?
Kevin Spring, 06/21/1985.
Thank you. We are here today on 2 different cases. The first is a failure to appear bench warrant on a case involving dangerous drug possession. I will affirm the attorney that was already appointed to represent you in that case. I will set a status conference on May 23rd at 8:30 in the downtown Superior Court. We're also here today on an arrest warrant. You were charged with 2 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon or dangerous instrument, Class 3 felonies. That's from an incident in February of 2025. I will appoint you an attorney in that case as well, and set a status conference on May 23rd at 8:30 in the downtown Superior Court. Because you were on felony release on your first case when the second case allegedly occurred, I do have to hold you non-bondable on your second case. But I am going to set an evidentiary hearing. Your attorney can argue for your release at that hearing. So you have a bond set and your failure to appear bench warrant for $500, but since you're being held non-bondable in your arrest warrant, don't post that since you're not going to be released on that matter. All your information is going to be in your paperwork. Do you have any questions?
Yes, I do.
Go ahead.
I showed up to my court date for the dangerous drugs, and it was when I got there, it said that my case was like scratched from the docket that day, and that would have been sometime in November. I don't remember the exact date, but I showed up to the court date, and I have the paperwork for it as well.
Okay, I'm looking at a minute entry from September 23rd of 2024. That was when you had your court date. There's nothing in here saying that it was scratched. I'm looking at the docket. The actual hearing did proceed forward. So I don't have a reason to necessarily doubt what you're telling me, but the docket is saying something different. Okay. So I would suggest talking with your attorney. Any documentation that you had, your attorney will want to see, and your attorney can argue for your release at that next hearing.
Copy that.
Okay, all that's going to be in your paperwork. Go ahead and grab that to your left and take a seat. Oh, actually, officer, I had to reprint one thing for him, so just go ahead and take a seat. They'll bring you your paperwork shortly. So you need a bond hearing, bond your arrest warrant, please. Yeah, it's an evidentiary hearing that's set. Oh, make sure you have it. Number 5. Bond hearing number 5. Kaden Anderson to the podium, and Tyrese McDaniel to the chair, please. Good evening, may I have your name and date of birth?
Kaden Anderson, 2006.
Is it April 18th, 2006?
Yeah, April 18th, 2006.
Thank you. And I believe that we have your attorney on the line, Mr. Guerra. Are you here?
It's Miss, and yes, Your Honor, it's Olmedo. It's okay. I'm a woman. Olmedo Guerra? Yes.
I did not mean to do that. I didn't see it on camera, so that's my mistake. I apologize. Mr. Kellerman, are you on the line?
Yes, Your Honor. George Kellman from the Maricopa County Attorney's Office. Good evening.
Thank you. We are here today on a Superior Court grand jury warrant. You were indicted on 1 count of discharging a firearm at a non-residence, a Class 3 felony, and 2 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon or dangerous instrument, Class 3 felonies. Those are from an incident in August of 2024. Miss Guerra, I did see that you had a notice of appearance for today's purposes only, but I did also see, I believe you were representing your client in the other case full time. Did you want me to have you listed as the attorney of record, or have the county or the public defender listed as the attorney?
Your Honor, for this matter, we're doing limited notice of appearance and discuss with my family, with her family. And my clients. So if the court could appoint somebody for this case, and then we will figure things out after today, please.
Will do. So I will go ahead and have the legal defender representing you moving forward. If you do retain your attorney full time, she will go ahead and file a notice of appearance, and that'll overwrite my appointment. I just want to make sure that you at least have an attorney for your next hearing. I will set an arraignment hearing on May 27th at 8:30 in the downtown Superior Court. Ms. Guerra, I did see that the grand jury warrant was requesting a bond. Did you want to be heard on release conditions?
Yes, Your Honor. Before I say my piece, may I know what the state is recommending, please?
So it was a bond in the grand jury warrant for $150,000. Mr. Kellerman, were you asking that the court just affirm that request?
Yes, Your Honor, but the warrant, I believe, is $150,000 cash.
Correct.
Yes, the state's requesting at the initial appearance that the grand jury warrant recently issued simply be affirmed.
Thank you, Mr. Kellerman. And Ms. Guerra.
Judge, I do understand the state's position and respect that. However, Caden is already with a high bond for the first case, and the bond is supposed to secure the appearance and to ensure that the defendant is not at flight risk. My client is definitely not at flight risk. She's currently incarcerated at the Maricopa County Jail, and she has all her roots and family here. So we're asking the court if the court could reduce that bond. At this point, that bond is excessive, $150,000 cash. If the court could consider doing that instead, 100 secure, please.
Thank you, Ms. Guerra. So, Ms. Anderson, the court has to take into consideration a lot of different things when setting release conditions. There's about 15 different factors, according to the statute, that I have to look at. Your attorney is correct. Part of that is to secure your appearance at the next hearing. I also have to look at the danger to the community, the danger to any potential victims in this case. What I am a little bit concerned about, I did see that you have another case that you're currently being held on for similar allegations. Also, because this is a grand jury warrant, the grand jury process is sealed in nature. So not even I know at this point in time what was presented to the grand jury. So I'm kind of a little bit under informed in terms of what allegedly had happened for this incident. I only have what is in the warrant, which is the allegations against you. Because the grand jury had much more presented to them when that bond amount was put in the warrant, I am going to affirm that amount at this point in time. That doesn't prevent your attorney from asking if you can modify any of my orders at the next hearing when more information can be provided. But for today's purposes, I am going to affirm the amount in the bond. That's a cash bond in the warrant. That's a cash bond in the amount of $150,000. If you do post that bond, I am ordering that you not have contact with any victim, complainant, or witness, no contact with any listed co-defendant, including while you're in custody, no possessing any weapons, and no drugs without a valid prescription. All that information is going to be in your paperwork. Do you have any questions specifically about my release conditions?
No.
Okay. Anything else from the state, Mr. Kellerman?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Anything else, Ms. Guerra?
Your Honor, if may I have the court send me a copy, please, of the release conditions and the paperwork, I would appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yes, I will have my staff email you a copy of the release conditions.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Not a problem. That is the conclusion of your case. You can go ahead and take seat to your left. And Mr. Kellerman, are you appearing on any others today?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Not a problem. Caden Anderson to the podium, and Tyrese McDaniel to the chair, please. I'm sorry, that was the one. Just Tyrese McDaniel to the podium, and then David Henderson to the chair. Good evening. May I have your name and date of birth?
Tyrese McDaniel, 0325.
Is it 2007?
Yeah.
Thank you. We are here today on a grand jury warrant. You were indicted on 1 count of discharging a firearm at a non-residence, Class 3 felony, and 2 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon or dangerous instrument, Class 3 felonies. I will appoint you an attorney to represent you in your case. I am setting an arraignment hearing on May 27th at 8:30 in the downtown Superior Court. I am going to affirm the bond in the grand jury warrant. That's a $150,000 cash bond. If you do post bond, I am ordering that you not return to the scene of any alleged crime, no contact with a victim, complainant, or witness, no contact with any listed co-defendant, including while you're in custody, no possessing any weapons, and no drugs without a valid prescription. All that's going to be in your paperwork. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay, go ahead and grab that to your left and take a seat. David Henderson to the podium, and Ramona Daniels to the chair, please. Good evening. May I have your name and date of birth?
David Henderson, 0203, 1986.
Thank you. We are here today on a Superior Court new case. You were arrested on allegations of 1 count of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon or dangerous instrument, Class 3 felony, and 1 count of kidnapping, Class 4 felony. I will find probable cause and I will appoint you an attorney. I am setting a status conference on May 23rd at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on May 28th at 8:30, both in the downtown Superior Court. I am going to issue a secured bond today in the amount of $25,000. That does mean you can use a bonding company. If you do post ordering that pretrial services supervises you in the community and that they install an electronic monitor on you prior to your release. I'm also ordering that you not return to the scene of any alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness, no contact with any listed co-defendant, including while you're in custody, no possessing any weapons, drugs, or alcohol, and no driving without a valid driver's license. All that's going to be in your paperwork. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, go ahead and grab your paperwork to your left and take a seat. Ramona Daniels to the podium, and Yuri Delfino to the chair, please. Good evening. May I have your name and date of birth?
Ramona Daniels, 711-77.
Thank you. We are here today on a Superior Court new case. You were arrested on allegations of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon or dangerous instrument, a Class 3 felony, and criminal trespassing, a Class 6 felony. I will find probable cause and I will appoint you an attorney. I am setting a status conference on May 23rd at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on May 28th at 8:30, both in the downtown Superior Court. I am going to issue a secured bond today in the amount of $25,000. If you do post bond, I am ordering that pretrial services supervises you in the community and that they install an electronic monitor on you prior to your release. I'm also ordering that you not return to the scene of any alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness, no contact with any listed co-defendant, including while you're in custody, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol, and no driving without a valid driver's license. All that's going to be in your paperwork. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay, go ahead and grab your paperwork to your left and take a seat. Yuri Delfino to the podium and William Wright-Sill to the chair, please. Good evening. May I have your name and date of birth?
Yuri Delpino, 07/28/1990.
Thank you. We are here today on a Superior Court new case. You were arrested on allegations of aggravated assault, domestic violence, impeding breathing, a Class 4 felony, criminal damage, a Class 5 felony, and disorderly conduct, a Class 1 misdemeanor. I will find probable cause and I will appoint you an attorney. I am setting a status conference on May 23rd at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on May 28th at 8:30, both in the downtown Superior Court. I am going to issue a secured bond today in the amount of $7,500. If you do post bond, I am ordering that pretrial services supervises you in the community and that they install an electronic monitor on you prior to your release. I'm also ordering that you not to return to the scene of any alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol, and you must obey any terms of any order of protection or order against harassment that has been or will be issued. I'm also ordering that you not reside at the same location as any listed victim in this case. If you do currently share a common residence, you must find an alternative place to stay and bring proof to your next court date. All that information is going to be in your paperwork. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay, go ahead and grab your paperwork to your left and take a seat. William Wright-Sill to the podium and John Lacey to the chair, please. Good evening. May I have your name and date of birth?
William Wright-Sill, 8/12/84.
Thank you. We are here today on 5 different cases. The first is a Superior Court new case. You were arrested on allegations of narcotic drug violation, Class 2 felony, drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony, and criminal trespassing, Class 2 misdemeanor. I will find probable cause and I will appoint you an attorney. I am setting a status conference on May 23rd at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on May 28th at 8:30, both in the downtown Superior Court. We're also here today on 4 probation violation warrants for violating terms 3 and 5 of your probation. I will appoint you an attorney on each of those cases and set them all for a probation revocation arraignment hearing on May 27th at 8:30 in the downtown Superior Court. I am going to issue a secured bond on your new case in the amount of $5,000, and then I'm going to order a secured bond in the amount of $250 on your first probation case, $1,000 on your second probation case, $250 on your third probation case, and $250 on your fourth probation case. You will have to post bond on all 5 matters in order to be released, but you will have the same release conditions on every matter. I'm ordering that you not possess any weapons, drugs, or alcohol, and you must contact probation within 72 hours of your release. All that's going to be in your paperwork. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, go ahead and grab your paperwork to your left and then take a seat. John Lacey to the podium and Eric Alcocer to the chair, please. Good evening. May I have your name and date of birth?
My name is John Lacey, 8/18/93.
Thank you. We are here today on a Superior Court new case. You were arrested on allegations of artifice, intent to facilitate shoplifting, a Class 4 felony, and shoplifting, a Class 1 misdemeanor. I will find probable cause and I will appoint you an attorney. I am setting a status conference on May 23rd at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on May 28th at 8:30, both in the downtown Superior Court. I am going to issue a secured bond today in the amount of $1,000. If you do post bond, I am ordering that you not return to the scene of any alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness, no possessing any weapons or drugs without a valid prescription, and you may not return to any target location. All that information is going to be in your paperwork. Do you have any questions?
Why is my bond $1,000?
So I'm setting it as $1,000.
But why?
Because I am setting it as $1,000.
Okay.
You can talk with your attorney. Your attorney will go over everything with you at your next hearing. Okay? Go ahead and grab your paperwork to your left and take a seat. Eric Alcocer to the podium and Don Young to the chair, please. Good evening. May I have your name and date of birth?
My full name is Eric Alcocer, Eric Alcocer.
Is your date of birth February 21st, 1990?
Correct.
We are here today on a Superior Court probation violation warrant for violating terms 3 and 5 of your probation. I will appoint you an attorney to represent you. I am setting a probation revocation arraignment hearing on May 27th at 8:30 in the downtown Superior Court. I am going to set a secured bond today in the amount of $250. If you do post bond, I am ordering that you not possess any weapons, drugs, or alcohol, and you must contact probation within 72 hours of your release. All that's going to be in your paperwork. Do you have any questions?
Okay.
Do you have any questions?
I don't.
Okay, grab your paperwork to your left and take a seat.
Thank you, sir.
Don Young to the podium, and Narvin Mungol to the chair, please. Good evening. May I have your name and date of birth?
John Marie Young, 8473.
Thank you. We are here today on a Justice Court warrant at the Arrowhead Justice Court. It's for a case involving criminal damage. I will appoint you an attorney to represent you in your case, and I will set an arraignment hearing in the Arrowhead Justice Court on May 22nd at 8:30 a.m. I am going to issue a secured bond today in the amount of $250. It is my understanding that you're being held non-bondable on your other matters, so don't post bond on this one. The rest of your release conditions will be in your paperwork. Do you have any questions?
I just want to know how much I owe so I can pay it. Because now I can afford to pay it.
Yeah, so I don't know how much is outstanding on your case. It is a failure to pay warrant, but you'll have to bring that up with the Arrowhead Justice Court. They'll have a complete listing of what you owe. Okay?
Right.
Go ahead and grab your paperwork to your left and then take a seat.
Thank you.
Narvin Mungol to the podium, and Leticia V to the chair, please. Good evening. May I have your name and date of birth?
My name is Narvin Anthony Mungol. It is April 11th, 1994.
Thank you. We are here today on a failure to appear bench warrant on your case involving narcotic drug possession. I will affirm the attorney that was already appointed to represent you. I am setting a status conference on May 28th at 10 a.m. in the downtown Superior Court. I am going to affirm the bond in the warrant. That's a $150 secured bond. If you do post bond, I am ordering that you not possess any weapons, drugs, or alcohol, and you must contact probation within 72 hours of your release. All that's going to be in your paperwork. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, is there any way that I could get, cause like, I just have to I remember and I haven't been doing any drugs and I've been really doing good when I'm off of it and I've been quitting and all that. I haven't been smoking. I could pass drug tests and stuff. Is there any way I could be able to show somehow or be put on a drug test or something?
So that's possible, not for today's purposes, but that is possible moving forward. I would suggest talking with your attorney, and your attorney can bring that up in front of your assigned judge at the next hearing. But for today's purposes, I am going to affirm the bond in the warrant of $150.
So there's no way I could get released today?
Not unless you pay that $150.
So I can't be released? Where am I going?
So you will remain in custody until your next hearing. The detention officers will let you know which facility, but you'll stay in custody until that bond is posted.
I have to, man, because I was about to get a lot of things done tomorrow, and I have a lot. I could pass drug tests and stuff. I just want to be able to change.
But you failed to appear at your court hearing, so I am going to order that bond. Do you have any other questions about my release conditions?
Release conditions. No, not really. It's just
So go ahead and grab your paperwork to your left and then take a seat.
Is there any way I could get an earlier court date?
That's the quickest court date I can get you in front of another judge.
All right.
Okay. Grab your paperwork and have a seat. Leticia V to the podium, and then Royce Hooks to the chair, please. Good evening. May I have your name and date of birth?
Leticia V, 4284.
Thank you. We are here today on a Justice Court warrant out of the Kyrene Justice Court on a case involving criminal trespassing. I will set an arraignment hearing in the Kyrene Justice Court on June 9th at 9:30 a.m. I am going to release you today on your own recognizance. That's a promise to appear at your next court date. Okay. I'm also ordering that you not return to the scene of any alleged crime, no contact with the arresting officers, and no possessing any drugs without a valid prescription. All that's going to be in your paperwork. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay, grab your paperwork to your left and have a seat.
Thank you.
Royce Hooks to the podium. Good evening, sir. May I have your name and date of birth?
How you doing, sir? My name is Royce Hooks.
11/25/1989.
Thank you. We are here today on a fugitive of justice matter. That's essentially not a state warrant for your arrest. So I do have to go over a couple of things with you. I saw you had that laminated piece of paper. Did you have the opportunity to read through that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm going to go over everything with you, but I just want to make sure you at least had the opportunity to read that, okay?
Okay.
So you do have a warrant out of the state of Indiana, so you do have a choice to make at this time. You could choose to waive your right to an extradition hearing and be sent back to the requesting state within 30 days, or you can demand an extradition hearing and that a governor's warrant be signed by the governors of both Arizona and Indiana before you are sent back to Indiana. If you choose to waive your right to an extradition hearing, you would be held non-bondable in the Maricopa County Jail for a period of up to 30 days to allow time for Indiana to come and get you. That 30-day period would start tomorrow as long as you don't have any criminal charges pending against you in Arizona. If there are criminal charges pending against you in Arizona, that 30-day period would not begin until those charges are resolved. If you do want an extradition hearing, I will set a hearing in the downtown Superior Court on June 2nd at 1:30 p.m. I cannot appoint you an attorney to represent you in this case because this extradition matters are civil in nature, but you do have the right to hire one at your own expense if you choose. You are entitled to bail in this case, which would be a secured bond in the amount of $50,000. If you do post bail, then you would be released back into the community pending your extradition matter, but you still have to show up to the hearing set in your extradition case. If you miss a hearing, a failure to appear bench warrant will be issued out of Arizona, and then you'd have two warrants that you'd have to address. A governor's warrant signed by the governors of both states is required to extradite you back to Indiana, and that process could take up to 90 days. So you have two different options today. Do you have any questions about what your options are or what that entails?
Okay, so you said that if I don't sign a waiver, then I would have a bond?
Yeah, so a couple of things. So if you want to have an evidentiary hearing on whether you can be sent back to Indiana, that process requires Indiana and Arizona to talk to each other, and that process could take up to 90 days.
Right.
During that time period, I would set a bond so that you could potentially be released on into the community while that process is going.
And then I would just have to come.
If you want to skip that whole process and just go back to Indiana to get this addressed, you waive your rights to that process, and you say, Indiana, come and pick me up. They have 30 days to come and get you, but during that time period, you would be held non-bondable in the jail. If they could come to pick you up after 2 days, they could come and pick you up after 29 days, but if that 30th day has come and gone and they do not pick you up, you would be released. So it's basically whether you want to have the whole process or you want to waive that process and just voluntarily return back to Indiana.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does. I'm understanding it. Just give me a second.
Sure.
So if I waive the process, then I sit in jail 30 days.
Up to 30 days.
Up to 30
Yeah,
days.
Indiana, for time to Indiana to come and get you.
For them to come.
They could come and get you tomorrow. It just depends on how quick they operate.
And if not, then I can bond out. If I bonded out, would I have to, I wouldn't have to pay a new bond in Indiana. I would just have to show up for court in Indiana, correct?
So if you post a bond here in the Arizona case, that gets you out pending your extradition case.
Okay.
So that means the case here. Once that case is over, it's either determined whether you are or not extraditable back to Indiana.
Okay. Now, if I pay, let's say I paid that, and I show up to court, obviously, and then I have to go back to Indiana to handle this. So would I'm confused on would it be a new charge or something?
So it's not a new charge. It's just because you have a warrant for your arrest out of Indiana that this whole process starts.
Okay.
So you have a right to be heard on whether you should be sent back to Indiana. That's the extradition process.
Right.
So at the end of that extradition process, it's either determined, yes, you should go back to Indiana, or no, you shouldn't go back to Indiana.
Right.
Whatever that determination is, if it's no, then you can stay here, then it's done. Right. But if they say you have to go back to Indiana, they transport you back to Indiana, and then you have your criminal case there.
Right. Okay. I want to option where I can bond out.
Okay, so I will set a hearing in the downtown Superior Court on June 2nd at 1:30 p.m. Okay. I will set that secured bond at $50,000. Just make sure if you post that bond, you still have to go to the court hearing.
Okay, now a secured bond.
That does mean you can go through a bonding company. Typically, they require about 10% plus collateral.
Okay, so 10%. Okay.
So any questions about any of that today?
No.
Okay,
no, sir.
Go ahead and take a seat. We'll have to reprint your paperwork, and then we'll get you on your way. Okay?
Thank you.
That's good. Do we have an interpreter yet? Eric Estrada to the podium. Do you need an interpreter?
I'm fine.
We can get you one. Do you speak and understand English?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit?
Uh-huh.
Okay, let's get you an interpreter, okay? Give me 1 second. Do we have our interpreter on the line?
I'm here, sir.
And may I have your name and your interpreter number, please?
Yes, my name is Justo, that's Justo, and the ID number is 8389.
Thank you. And are you prepared to interpret for a legal matter?
I am, sir. Just let me know when I can introduce myself in Spanish.
Let's go right ahead.
Hola, mi nombre es Justo. Yo seré su intérprete de español el día de hoy, ¿ok?
Okay.
Okay, sir, you can speak.
Good evening. We are here today on a Superior Court grand jury warrant.
Okay, estamos el día de hoy por un warrant en la Corte Superior.
Is your name Eric Estrada with a date of birth of January 29th of 1999?
Okay, tu nombre es Eric Estrada con una fecha de nacimiento enero 29 de 1999.
Sí.
Yes.
You were indicted on one count of narcotic drug possession for sale, a Class 2 felony.
Okay, estás por posesión de narcóticos, que es un delito de clase 2.
One count of possession or use of a weapon in a drug offense, Class 4 felony.
También posesión de armas es un delito de clase 4.
And then possession of a weapon by a prohibited person, a Class 4 felony.
Y también posesión de armas por una persona prohibida, también un delito de clase 4.
I will appoint you an attorney to represent you.
Te voy a dar un abogado para que te represente.
And I'm setting an arraignment hearing on May 27th at 8:30 a.m.
Y voy a hacer una audiencia para el 27 de mayo a las 8:30 de la mañana.
That hearing will be in the downtown Superior Court.
Eso va a ser en Downtown Superior Court, o la Corte Superior de Downtown.
I am setting a secured appearance bond today in the amount of $20,000.
Y voy a dejar una fianza de $20,000.
If you do post bond, I'm also ordering that you not possess any weapons.
Y si pagas la fianza, ordeno que no poseas ningún arma.
And not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription.
Y que no poseas ninguna droga sin una prescripción válida.
All of this will be in your paperwork. Do you have any questions?
¿Todo esto va a estar en tu papeleo? ¿Tienes alguna pregunta?
¿No hay chance de que se pueda pagar la mitad de esa fianza?
Can I pay half the bill?
So the entire amount does need to be paid, or you can go through a bonding company.
¿Y cuánto sería eso?
Se paga toda la suma.
Si voy a una compañía de la fianza, ¿cuánto sería todo eso?
If I go to a bounty company, how much would all of it be?
So because it's a cash bond, it depends on the bonding company.
Dado que es una recompensa en efectivo, depende de la compañía.
All the bonding companies set their own terms, but you will have access to them when you get back to the processing.
Todas las compañías tienen sus propios términos y condiciones, pero vas a tener acceso a eso una vez que terminemos.
Do you have any other questions?
No.
¿Alguna otra pregunta? No.
Okay, go ahead and grab your paperwork to your left and then take a seat. That one's actually okay. I changed it's a secured bond.
Recoge el papeleo y puedes tomar asientos.
And thank you to our interpreter. That was the only matter we needed, John, so feel free to disconnect at any time.
My pleasure, sir. Have a wonderful rest of your day and shift.
Thank you. So actually, I'm back. I made one more change after you closed it out, so we'll just have to do that. Yeah. So you can pull those papers back, and then we're good. Brian Bauer to the podium. Good evening, sir. Are you willing to provide your name and date of birth? You can shake your head no if it's a no. Okay. So, sir, part of what I have to do today is to make sure that I have the proper person that is in front of me. The law is very clear that before I can proceed forward, I need to make sure that you are who they say you are. The problem with you not responding to my questions is we can't move forward if I don't know your name and date of birth. What's going to happen is if you refuse to provide me your name and date of birth, you're going to sit back in custody and you're going to go to the next calendar unless you're going to be able to provide me with your name and date of birth. That's going to keep happening until I can verify your identity. So we can sit here and not talk to each other, or you can provide me your name and date of birth.
My son is going to be taken from me, and me being here today is bullshit.
I understand that you disagree with why you're here, but in order for me to proceed forward with the hearing, I do need to know your name and date of birth.
The officers that were arresting me today violated my rights.
Okay. Sir, I'm going to give you one more opportunity to provide me your name and date of birth. Otherwise, we're going to have you taken back into custody, and we'll try this again at 11 p.m. No.
My name is Brian Bauer, 05-14-1989.
Thank you. We are here today on an out-of-county warrant out of the Pinal County Superior Court. It is for a probation violation. I am going to appoint you an attorney to represent you in your case in Pinal County. I am setting an arraignment hearing in the Pinal County Superior Court on May 22nd at 8:30 a.m. Pinal County is asking to hold you non-bondable because it is a violation of probation. So I am going to affirm Pinal County's.
That's not
I
fair.
am going to affirm Pinal County's request to hold you non-bondable. I understand that you may disagree with whether or not you violated probation. I am not the judge to determine whether or not you have violated. You will have the ability to contest the violations of probation.
So my life gets screwed up because I know that I haven't violated probation?
So probation of Pinal County is stating that you violated your probation. So a warrant was issued for the probation violation.
This is bullshit, dude.
So all that
my son's
information
going to be taken from me, and I'm never going to see him.
Go ahead and grab your paperwork and take a seat.
That's ridiculous. The justice is flawed, bro.
Yeah, so 26. No, sorry, 27. Yeah, I changed it and then changed it back. So since you closed it out before I changed it back, we'll just have to verify the amended order technically. So it does nothing that they need to receive. We can handle that back when we get back. Yeah.
Your Honor?
Yes.
Let me ask a question.
Mr. Hooks says? Okay, bring him back in real quick.
I'm sorry. I was just reading over the release date, release conditions. If I pay my bond that I'm not gonna like be let out and then rearrested once I get outside and pay after I pay my bond.
You shouldn't, no.
Okay.
You've already been arrested on that warrant. If you post bond in this case,
Right.
you're being released on this case pending your extradition.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Not a problem. For numbers 9 and 29 on the calendar, they were listed as house calls. Officer, is there a reason they can't be brought to court? Do you know why it was house calls?
No, she didn't.
It's on my posted one.
Number 9, murder off the danger to others.
Okay.
And number 29, Mosley, unable to function, refusing officer's orders.
Okay, I will find out if these individuals are a danger to themselves or others. If they were brought to court, I will conduct their initial appearances at their cell. For number 9, Gustave Murdois, we're here today on a justice court warrant at the Desert Ridge Justice Court for furnish of four. I'm sorry, that's the wrong one. Number 9, we're here today on a justice court new case out of North Mesa Justice Court for allegations of disorderly conduct, class 1 misdemeanor, disorderly courtroom conduct, class 1 misdemeanor, obstruction, refusing to provide true name, class 2 misdemeanor, and obstructing a highway or public thoroughfare, class 2 misdemeanor. I will find probable cause and I will appoint an attorney, setting an arraignment hearing in the North Mesa Justice Court on May 22nd at 1 p.m., and I will issue a secured bond in the amount of $500. On number 29, for Demi Mosley, we're here today on a justice court warrant out of the Desert Ridge Justice Court for a warrant on furnishing tobacco to minors. I will set an arraignment hearing in the Desert Ridge Justice Court on June 9th at 1:30 p.m., and I will release her on her own recognizance. For these individuals, I will complete their initial appearance at their cell and provide them with a written copy. If I do need to make any modifications or changes, I'll do so either on the record or in writing. That does conclude the 8 p.m. calendar. We will stand in recess until 11 p.m.
So at some point you had a change of heart. What happened that changed your heart and for you to walk away from your street gang? So at this point, you hadn't participated in any of the groups that were offering. Now, we got a question from Lindsay, and she's asking, did he have any repercussions for leaving his gang, or his former gang? Repercussions for leaving your former gang? So, so let me ask you, so I know you were talking about having that change of heart when you were looking at your daughter's picture. Were you sharing those thoughts with anybody? Was there anybody that you confide in that and pick their brain to see what they thought about it, or this was something that you just held internally? Hey, call back is about to hang up.